Hello and welcome to the PWF Empire RAW review for May 22nd,
Yep.
2017. It is your host, the gentleman, Jack Micah, and my co-host.
Of course, I'm the NXT correspondent in DJ Cass. How's everybody doing tonight?
I hope everyone is having a good time, especially after all of the things that have happened to us from NXT, Backlash,
The
and
UK
Raw.
well, here's the thing. Like, I've pretty much been working all weekend. Like, I watched the UK special Friday. I had to review and produce Takeover Saturday, then watch Backlash, and then got to review Raw tonight, and then it's just the cycle keeps continuing.
So what your new nickname should be is Mr. No Days Off. Yeah, yeah, Mr. No Days Off,
that
bringing it
we'll,
back
we'll,
to
we'll talk
Dairy
about that
Younger.
in the meeting afterwards. Believe me.
But we ain't gonna talk about no meeting afterwards. We're gonna talk about tonight's Raw. You ready for this,
Ugh,
Cass? Before
no
before we begin, I want to ask you to sum up Raw as a whole before we get to the end. What did you think about Raw?
filler.
Filler. All right. Well,
Everything about this just felt like complete filler to me.
let's take the steps to see the outcome to if I can agree with you on this filler.
Let's
So
go.
the very beginning of the show opened with Bray Wyatt delivering a Bray Wyatt promo.
Yep.
Um, he talked about how he's the only one that can beat the Beast because yeah, and he's gonna feast on his black heart, and he's gonna beat up all the other competitors of Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, and I'm sorry, Seth Rollins. Not in that order. Roman was actually last. Once Bray brought up Roman, Roman showed up as the big dogs do. He flexed his muscles and got up there, and yeah, they just said nah, screw you. Then Kurt Angle came out and said, hey, let's fight. How about Roman versus Bray to start the show? If you guys can't see it, but Cass's face is very delighted. Cass, say a word.
I mean,
No, he's not delighted. He's lying.
real quick, I was actually excited when I heard that Roman Reigns was going to take on Bray at the start of the show. I was actually fine with that. But hey, I'm actually one of the people, very few people that actually enjoyed the feud from 2015 between Roman and Bray. This is kind of like the new John Cena, Randy Orton, if you think about it. But that's another topic for another day. But as far as the opening segment with Bray, it's just so hard for me to get into him ever since he left SD Live, and you could just tell that he's like that top mid card heel because when he was on SmackDown, he felt like he was one of the top guys because he had a platform that he can just like that he had just all of his own. But now that he's on Raw with much bigger names than he is, it's like that he's just in mid card purgatory.
uh, excuse me. Cass is correct in his assumption of Bray. Not even assumption, presentation. And it's very clear what Raw's trying to do with Bray, which is they're trying to position him back to a big star, but they're doing all of the wrong ways of doing it. They're doing what I like to call option two. Option one is give him wins and make him some sort of a dominant force. Option
Damn right.
two is choose the dumbest way to make him over as possible. Looking at you, Jinder Mahal. Anywho,
Anyway,
this is the Jinder Mahal show, but man, is it funny to bring it up. Back to what I was saying. Uh, he's right that Bray is comes off on Raw as a mid card top heel,
yep.
but they're trying to force him to be a top of the card heel, and it just isn't transitioning well enough anymore due to all of the luster that is just shined away from him. Sorry, whatever luster he had left, gone. As much
2014.
as much as I and Jay, anyone else that's watched the shows leading up to WrestleMania knows, I was trying to form some sort of a story or trying to do something to push Bray up, and at the end, I got shattered on completely. And now I just can't with Bray. When I see Bray versus anybody, I'm kind of sucked out of it personally me. But Roman and Bray did have a match. It ended in disqualification because option 2 happened. Let's do the stupidest decision possible. And Joe, but it was technically the right decision because it gives Joe something rather than I'm Triple H's buddy, because Joe came out and attacked.
He's not dumb.
Yes, he attacked Roman and Bray both, and then after that, Seth Rollins showed up to defend him, to beat up Joe for some reason. And after that, Kurt Angle came out and made a match between them for later in the night at a main event of Roman and Seth versus Bray Wyatt and Samoa Joe.
I will say this real quick. WWE, either put the Shield back together or don't team Rollins and Roman and Rollins together, because it's pretty much like it's just awkward when Dean's not there. That's just a little side note.
I could see that. For me, while having the Shield all together is nice, and while I don't even know, because originally, remember when Dean was hanging around Roman and Dean's whole job was to get Roman over, I don't know what this Seth Roman hangout thing is supposed to be doing, but we'll find out.
But speaking of Dean,
well, that's later. We don't skip over a 205 live match. Thank you, good sir. It was Ariya Davari versus Tozawa, which was a good match. It was exactly what it needed to be. 2 to 3 minutes of Tozawa beating Davari and setting up his street.
I'm tuning in for that, though. I will say this. I'm tuning in for that. That could be good.
And people, really, if you are missing 205 Live, which you technically should be, because you should be watching our SmackDown Live Raw PWF Empire review, but then like the next day in the morning, you should watch 205 Live. And trust me, the matches and the storylines there actually make freaking sense, which are very rare for WWE. And one of the very good matches that, scenarios that they have is Tozawa versus Brian Kendrick. For them to be having a street fight, it is the right call. And I'm very intrigued in what's going to happen next.
I'm intrigued. The match definitely didn't do anything to sell me on the match, because it honestly feels like Tozawa and Brian Kendrick have been feuding for like forever.
Yeah.
And they it's like they keep stopping and starting this feud, and it's like when you do most of the build on Raw, people would think that this match will happen on pay-per-view, but it's built into a 205 live match, so it kind of hinders the feud a bit, because it's like, this is what I mean. When you have them build this on Raw, people watch it on Raw, but when the match happens on 205 live, which not everybody watches, then the feud is kind of like for naught.
I could see that. I can completely understand that. Raw does not promote the 205 Live show very well at all. Not at all. It's up to you as the fan to go out of your way to watch 205 Live, to then be attached to the competitors on Raw. They don't give you a reason to really care for them on Raw. But tomorrow, Tozawa versus Brian Kendrick. Oh, yeah, by the way, what you said earlier about that they've been feuding forever, that's what 205 Live does. They beat that joke into the ground, man. Alicia Fox and Cedric Alexander.
Speaking of Cedric, I'm definitely tuning in for that. He's supposed to be back tomorrow night.
Oh, he's going to be back tomorrow. I missed that. Good. 205 Live is looking great, but enough about 205 Live. We're on Raw tonight. I didn't bring my notepad. All of my stuff is written on my phone. So after the Davari match, they go backstage and they show that Enzo Amore was attacked, because every week Enzo Amore gets attacked. I'm happy that it wasn't that we didn't get to see them in a match, because I don't want to hear that crap anymore.
I guarantee you it was the Revival. I guarantee you.
Ooh, that's a good one. Is it over? Is his injury over?
They said that Dash Wilder, the one who got injured, said he'd be back probably early July, probably late June. So I'm hoping it's the Revival, but take that with a grain of salt, people.
We'll see, step by step, day by day. But to earlier what you said about the Shield, we have Elias Samson, the Drifter.
I love this.
versus Dean Ambrose in Elias Sampson's first match on the card. And
I love
before
this.
and before we jump in, I'll just give you the results. Elias Sampson. Oh, sorry, The Miz was on commentary, and Elias Sampson won after The Miz used the ingenious tactics of going to the match and attacking Elias Sampson, thus giving Elias Sampson the win, thus proving that anything can happen at their, which is WWE's new moniker, anything can happen. That um, their stipulation at Extreme Rules of that if Dean gets disqualified, he loses the title.
Yeah, I'm glad they finally put emphasis on like what the stipulation is, because it's like they really flip flop with that over last week. But yeah, honestly, I was really more. Well, I did like the Miz did, because again, I like it when a person's, especially for a heel, and stop paying attention to that hamster. But yeah,
Guinea pig.
whatever. But yeah, I like it when a heel's character gets protected and they're a smart heel, because that you don't see that a lot in WWE. But I was also very intrigued with Elias Sampson. He really stood out to me against Dean Ambrose in this match. Like that high knee that he hit Dean Ambrose coming off the top rope, I really enjoyed that. And also, I'm really glad that Elias Sampson, while I don't expect him to like really be anything more than he is, it is good to see that they didn't beat him in his in-ring debut, because when somebody just debuts, unless you plan on doing something with them, don't beat him right off the bat. And plus, he gets a win over the Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose. So yeah, I thought this was good overall. One of the few things I liked about the show, actually.
I think that they presented Elias very well.
Yeah.
When he was on NXT, I did not care for him. His existence was just there. Only near the end of his run was like, oh, cool.
I enjoyed this more than I enjoyed all of his NXT matches combined, because
100%.
that type of gimmick that he has does not work in NXT.
Yeah,
it doesn't, but it works in the main roster. But yeah, good stuff overall.
Dean was Dean. There was nothing really
more
about him. I put him up to the challenge about a month ago. He hasn't stepped up. Either he's got to do it. I really don't like that shirt. I really, personally, and I hope WWE is here. This is my hats off, pissed off segment. WWE, stop fucking making black shirts. I get it. Every shirt is black. Give me a blue shirt, a red shirt. Hell, a purple shirt. Neville is the only person that has a fucking purple shirt. Every freaking shirt that a person has is black. Every shirt. I can't get another black shirt. I just can't do it no more.
I feel hurt by that segment, but anyway.
But what is it? Yeah, that it was genius by Miz. It made Elias look good, and Dean was there.
Yeah.
I will say though that they're doing very good to set up if actually Dean does retain over the Miz at Extreme Rules. He does have actually a plethora of heels to face off that would be interesting. And for the mid card. But I can give you an example of who that is later down the card when I get there. But after that, we go to commercial break and come back. And Finn Balor does his entrance, and then Paul Heyman interrupts.
Now this was some good stuff right here.
This was very interesting. And me and Cass have talked about multiple times that we don't know why Finn is back at all. Yeah. He only recently has he been saying, I want to get the Universal title back. But when he first showed up, he was just, I wear a jacket. Yeah. And I got him. That's always my goal. Get him once a show. Anywho, so with Paul Heyman showing up tonight, sorry, I need to rewind it. When Finn showed up and Paul Heyman came out after, Paul Heyman spoke about how the Beast is, what the Beast, Brock Lesnar is, and that he put over Finn, saying that Finn is one of the better echelon competitors inside of the WWE. When Paul Heyman says that, either casual or hardcore fan, you take that with weight, because Paul Heyman has a lot of what is it? Pull in what he says. And Finn Balor Normally, people let Paul Heyman and he bashes them, and then it's over.
He
Finn
praised
Balor
him.
stepped up back to him and basically said, I really wanted Brock to be here, but since you be here, tell Brock I want to fight him. Tell Brock I'm coming for him, and tell Brock I'm gonna take that title. And that's it. That's all you need to do. And I'm very happy Finn is got a direction. He's got a point. He's got a desire, and he's executing it the best way he possibly can right now.
I will say this though, Heyman did put over Finn Balor very strongly because to the IWC, Paul Heyman is the
Messiah.
guy. Yeah, he's the man like for them. So it's like if you give his approval on a wrestler, then it's like you can't really deny that. However, I do think that this will not lead to a Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar match anytime soon.
Not right now. Not right now.
Because because they blatantly when they blatantly tease something that 9 out of 10 times that means it's not gonna happen. But just to throw out that thought, I will say is a good teaser because you need to give the people something to be like, okay, this guy might actually have a chance because do we really need to bring up the size thing?
If we look at all the competitors that face Brock, the only out of the 5, technically 3 of them can compete against him in size, but technically only one of them actually looks like a threat to him.
A Roman, but
yeah. But this also leads to Finn Balor versus Karl Anderson.
Weird
and once again, hats off, pissed off WWE.
Weird.
Why don't you like friendship? We got DIY. We got Finn versus his best friend. We got the Golden Truth breaking up. Next, I want to hear, I don't know, the Usos don't like each other. And they're brothers.
Hey, stop it with that. I actually like those two. Let me ask this question. Which is the worst breakup, Jericho or DIY?
I got to go with, that's close. I'm going to go with DIY. I gotta go with DIY.
Yeah, but yeah, this match right here, Finn Balor versus Karl Anderson, when I heard about this match earlier, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be good. And for the most part, it actually was. But why in the world all of a sudden Finn Balor hates his buddies from Japan?
I will say that I don't feel like he hates them. I feel like he's just...
It's that heel versus face dynamic that WWE typically always goes with. Like,
I would
they really think that that wrestling fans don't watch New Japan or anything like
Not
that.
Even
like
New Japan. Finn had his program thing last week, and he was hanging out with Karl in the whole fucking video.
So WWE, you unscrewed yourselves because you already tipped your hand when it came to that. So it's like the whole face heel that never just doesn't work in that sense. So it's just like that's only a little minor thing, but it's just like. But I do think because they interacted that the Balor Club will be coming soon.
I see it that if what WWE needed to do and what I hope they do if they progress to keep having Finn versus Luke or Karl, that one of them that they played out in the match. Finn might be like, hey man, this is only business. I need to get to where I need to get to. Karl, I understand. We've been through a lot. But I got to do this. And Karl, being the heel that he is and that WWE wants to present him as, he's like, bump it. I'm going to beat you up. And then that goes on forward. But when they fight every time in the show, it's just simple, bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. They're fighting and it's over. And there's no storyline to it. But maybe I'm asking too much for a storyline with it.
No, you're not.
But I understand that even it's not just me knowing from being a fan of indie wrestling. It's not me being a fan of New Japan. It's not me being a fan of both wrestlers. It's the fact that WWE has told me on multiple avenues on the regular program and on the network, Finn and Karl are best friends. They have grown up in the wrestling industry together. As much as WWE likes to force friendships forever on us, they have one right there and they don't even use it. Once again, option 2. That's my new shirt. Hashtag option 2.
Yeah.
Finn wins with the coup de grace, but Finn and Karl fought very well together. Karl looked very good compared to most of his matches, and Finn looked great. Finn looked like a very good competitor. a very good main eventer at that. Commercial break came back, and we had a video segment that happened earlier in the show between Alicia Fox, Noam Dar, and Sasha Banks to set up for the great match of Alicia Fox versus Sasha Banks. Round 2, Electric Boogaloo.
At least it gets Sasha Banks and Alicia Fox on TV, and it's better than Sasha Banks just sitting around doing nothing. Because if you're gonna like put them in the women's championship picture again, at least don't put her on the sidelines like you did last year. At least they're doing something with her. I'll say that.
Yes. At least they're doing. The women's division is suffering for Raw to me because it's only 5 of them. Technically,
and one of them wasn't
6.
even there tonight.
She hasn't been there for, I think, 2 weeks. I haven't seen Nia Jax in a long time, honestly.
Yeah.
But Alicia Fox versus Sasha Banks. First off, our apology, mostly my apologies. A technical issue happened that caused me not to be able to bring to you guys the soothing, fun, rousing moments of DJ Cass and myself. But last week, Alicia Fox defeated Sasha Banks. Clean in the ring with a scissors kick. Very awkwardly done, but whatever. And pinned her. Let me tell you how big of that is technically for Alicia Fox. She doesn't win anything ever. Yeah. She won the Divas Championship somewhere. The Divas Championship. It happened somewhere. I want to say in like 2010.
It was 2010. She won it in a Fatal 4-Way match. It one of the worst pay-per-view names I've ever heard in Fatal 4-Way.
What? A Fatal 4-Way match at Fatal 4-Way?
Terrible pay-per-view concept.
It's like card games on motorcycles here. Anywho, so Alicia beating Sasha last week was something of a shakeup because
if WWE... you would just give these women like just more than 8 minutes and not be like a segment, I guarantee you these women can go.
I could see it, and I can understand that for sure. I as you said, I'm happy that they gave Sasha something to do, and I'm happy that they're trying to do something with anyone that's not named Bayley, Sasha, and Alexa. But after that, there's only 3 other competitors, and then out of those 3,
so this feud's over.
Yeah, that's it. Well, they're gonna have to have a rubber match, and if this match was maybe 5 minutes, the next match will be 10 minutes. Maybe. But anywho, Sasha beat Alicia, not even with her finisher, not even with the bank statement or her straight jacket neck breaker. She just did a double knee stomp to Alicia in the corner and then pinned her 1, 2, 3.
I got the taste slapped right out of him though. That was pretty cool.
It was nice. It was very nice. I like that Noam Dar is technically Alicia Fox's buffer. That's different. A lot of the time, it's the girl who buffers.
I hate him. I hate that dude. He's the one person I cannot stand out of the 205 Live roster. It's not even his character.
I can agree. He's tough to watch for me. He doesn't really do much. And if he was just her manager, I feel like I would manage him better. Manager. If he was just her manager, I would be able to deal with it better. But he's a regular competitor, and he does okay on 205 Live. But once again, not about 205 Live right now, and it's not about Noam Dar. It's about Alicia and Sasha in the women's division. I don't know where they're going with it. Once again, I just feel like they're trying to make one of the other girls something.
Yeah.
Will it work? Hell no. But it's nice trying with Emma and Summer Rae gone, and who knows what the hell is Paige gonna do. They got to do something with what they got. But also after the match, Alicia Fox attacked Sasha Banks with once again her very awkward scissors kick to the body.
Yeah.
We came back and there was a segment between Kalisto and Apollo Crews.
Can you scream WWE Superstars if that show is still on?
Superstars didn't have the Titus brand.
The Titus brand, I will say, it's starting to grow fastly every single week as much as the Matt Vardy V1 did.
As much as I've never really cared for Titus,
He's
this
making it
Titus brand
work.
stuff is funny.
He's
It's
making it
funny to me.
work.
I feel like I live in Tampa, Florida. There are sorry, I live in a place actually called St. Petersburg, Florida. It's across the bridge from Tampa. There are two sides of St. Pete. There's the north side and the south side. I am originally from the south side, but I
Uh-oh.
reside in the north side because I don't want to get robbed every day. If I go to the south side, I will find 5 dudes that act exactly like Titus O'Neil around every freaking corner. And it makes me laugh because he's freaking hilarious. And Kalisto Kalisto is confronting Apollo because they have a rapport as friends that he doesn't like that Apollo is being bad. And Apollo's like, man, bump you. I'm not like that.
At least
And
they're keeping the continuity with the friendship from SmackDown. I'll give them
I'm
that.
not. It's nice. It's nice. They're trying. Once again, they don't like WWE does not like friendships.
Yeah, but
Kalisto confronts them, and as they're trying to like find some equal ground, good. Titus O'Neil, he sits outside of the gumbo shop talking about how it was his old days and what he used to do. Shows up and breaks up the friendship, talking about Kalisto's going to be the next international part of the Titus brand and all sorts
ship
of
has sailed
hoopla.
on that.
And then that's about it for that. And they walk
Yeah,
away. I personally thought it was hilarious.
it gets
Uh,
him on TV.
yeah, yeah, and it sets up something for later in the show. But before we get to that, actually, there were followed up by about 3. Yeah, I see. I wrote down 3 separate talking segments. They talked a lot actually
Yes.
in this moment. So after the Kalisto and Apollo thing, they had a recap of Goldust turning on
I
R-Truth.
loved this so freaking much. I
Go
love
ahead
this.
then, Cass. Take the helm.
People, this was just straight up old school Goldust. And here's the thing, like I've known Goldust since 2010 when ECW, the terrible version of ECW from '09
Okay,
was still a
okay.
thing. But I actually went back and I've seen some of his old stuff. Him coming out and just being him, like this was like that. It was old school Goldust. All we need is the wig and the robe, and I am completely sold on this Goldust singles run.
I always found Goldust so creepy as a kid because I was there when he first showed up. And
It
I was
was
like,
vintage Goldust.
what the hell is this thing? What is this? Sorry, I'm a child. What the heck is that thing? And he just walks out with a wig and this robe. And now that I'm an adult, as much as it'd be neat to see it, the best thing about Goldust is that over the years, we talk about Chris Jericho changing himself. Goldust is exactly the same, but he always tweaks himself just that little niche that makes himself so much more
And he
unique
did
than
good.
each other interaction of Goldust.
I thought he did very good in this little sit down. Like it just had that old school feel from what Goldust used to be, instead of being a comedy guy. Like he was actually being serious, and I enjoyed that.
And you should. He was very much he was as serious as Goldust's character could be,
Yeah.
and that's why I said as actually Dean has multiple people to vie for the IC title as a heel. Goldust versus Dean. If someone can drag out the freaking lunacy of Dean Ambrose, it gotta be fucking Goldust. It's gotta be. He's the craziest, weirdest person I've seen. Dean, if he has to fight him, would have to be some sort of also zany, sorry, not zany, crazy guy back.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very good, and Goldust he did exactly what you needed to do, which was say why he did it, what he's going to be doing after, and try and just also just leave a little mystique of what's going to
Yeah.
happen next with Goldust. And I liked it a lot. Followed by that segment, we got another talking segment with Alexa Bliss basically talking down about Bayley like she always does every week and saying that Bayley can't get extreme.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss, we've praised her for being on the microphone, but she really needs to like it sounded like for the last 2 weeks, it sounded like to me she's just been reading off of a script.
Yeah, She has. To my
She
opinion,
does it well. That doesn't mean like that it was bad. Like she does it, like she reads it well, and she knows how to present them well. It's just like,
I like her live reaction promos rather than her backstage
yeah,
promos.
that's the
When
thing.
she's live in the ring, as much as, and I'll say it again, I don't like Alexa Bliss. I find her annoying and just childish, borderline childish to
I
me.
think that's the
But
idea, though.
exactly, and I accept that. I accept that she's doing everything perfectly as a heel does. The same way as that before Miz is now. I hated seeing the Miz, and not just because of that. He was good at. He was just a pure heel. Is that he just annoyed the crap out of me. The same goes for Alexa Bliss. I know she's just being a great heel. Doesn't mean
Yeah.
I like her, but I understand what she's doing, and she does it to a T very well. But this whole Bailey, you're a kid. Bailey, you're a kid, and I'm gonna beat you because I'm not a kid. And then Bailey's like, "Bitch, I'm 28." Alexa Bliss is like 24. She's like, I'm a grown ass girl. I'm a grown ass woman. Bump you. But she just repeats it every day, every week. Bailey, you're a kid. Blah blah blah. I'll beat you. And while that's nice, do something more. And that goes for you too, Bailey. Which I'll get there when we get there. And then we got one more promo segment.
Man.
We got one more promo segment, and it's just quick. It was just the announcers recapping Strowman and Reigns.
Yeah.
It's just a quick little video. They're just trying to keep Strowman in our memories, which they should. But Strowman's not going anywhere. So now we're in the final hour of Raw, and we're in the first match after I think probably a 30-minute promo segment hour. It's Kalisto versus Apollo Crews, a follow-up from their interaction earlier. Apollo Crews gets.
And who cares?
Kalisto gets the win after Selena Del Sol after supposedly Titus distracted Apollo.
I got nothing to say about this.
It was neat, but really, I actually have a match further down the card that I was much more interested in this. So, bam, that was that. Now we're on to Matt Hardy versus Sheamus.
Wasn't bad.
And whoever wins this match makes the stipulation for Extreme Rules. Cass, our tag team aficionado, take it away for this one.
I will say this, though. This match was much better than I thought it would be, knowing Matt Hardy's single status. Because it's kind of like rough for me. Being an MFer since I've known Matt Hardy, has just been like, okay, it's good to see him back in singles action, but I will say, though, they need to seriously stop, like, with the whole one partner faces one partner, the other one faces the other, and then they switch around, because you don't need to have these guys on TV every single week. And it's just like Matt Hardy gets the win because of the same exact way, literally, of last week with distraction finishes, and then Sheamus and Tozara look bad, and one of them gets pinned again.
Yep.
And now we know at Extreme Rules that it's going to be, I didn't never expect this, a fucking steel cage match.
Yeah. Yeah. I spoke about it with Cassie, my girlfriend, if anyone has, and all that. Whatever, no one cares. But I told her that if the Hardys win, it's going to be a ladder match because the Hardys are ladder matches. And if Shane Moore win, it's still going to be a freaking ladder match because option 2, stupidest reason as to why. Either A, they will want to show that they could beat the Hardys at their own game, or B, because reasons. Either way,
but the match was still good tonight.
It was exactly what it needed to be. Sheamus was the big guy, big heel.
Yeah.
Matt was the baby face. They're still riding that high of WrestleMania showing back.
Yeah,
I don't think they've lost.
Yeah, it's gone. Well, for me, it's gone.
Oh, no, it's gone. But WWE is still saying, no, it's still there. But, yeah, Matt gets the win after a twist of fate. And to Sheamus. Once again, Tozara has not wrestled in 2 weeks. So I'm starting to think that I'm just jumping the worst case scenario that he might be injured. But maybe I'm just thinking too far ahead. But that ends that match. We can jump forward to what I enjoyed this match the most: Tony Nese versus Austin Aries. Um, it was
Man,
very. Go ahead.
the problem that I have with this is the fact that you put them so late in the hour, and Raw
Yeah,
was already dragging enough as it is, and then you want to like put the last little nitpick for the cruiserweights, and like you also could have done this on 205 Live, and you could still build towards that match at Extreme Rules. Like you didn't necessarily need to have. There's like less is more sometimes, and I felt like this week you really did not need another cruiserweight because you already built towards the street fight enough. That was the focal point. If you're trying to build towards Extreme Rules, you could have done this same exact thing on 205 Live, so you could have killed two birds with one stone, but I didn't think this needed to be on Raw.
I think that they hit their peak with the Neville Austin Aries thing a while ago, and because it was I think 2 weeks ago. I was like, oh, cool, Extreme Rules is this Sunday. And then it was like, no, it's in 3 weeks from now. And I was like, oh, what else do you guys got?
And it's a submission match.
I think that's good. That's good. They're both submission. They both are showing that they are submission aficionados. I can't see any more discus 5 arms because only person that can throw forearms like nobody else is Cassius Ohno. But that's NXT Universe.
Oh, no.
Yes,
no.
always. But I thought it was very well wrestled. Austin Aries did the dives very well. He looked like he was doing some serious impact. He was impact. Ha! I made a funny. And got him again. And he transitioned very well. The move he did like I think 5 submissions in one full match. He looked really good, and I'm looking forward to Neville versus Austin Aries. And Neville also did excellently too because Neville is the greatest.
The king of the cruiserweights.
The king of the cruiserweights. After the match, because he technically hired Tony Nese to beat up Austin Aries because T.J. Perkins wasn't doing the job. So once Tony Nese didn't get it over, well, fuck him. I'm going to whoop Tony Nese's ass so Austin Aries knows I can whoop his ass. And he did. He told Neville, far and foremost, is vying for me breakout star of the year. He has consistently been doing great every chance he gets. We got 2 matches, and then it'll be 22 skidoo for us. We got Mickie James versus Alexa Bliss. I don't know why Mickie James...
It's such a shame how Mickie James has fallen so fast since she's been back. All she has been doing is just been losing.
Yes, 100%. She in this match, Mickie James actually did a lot of stuff, and she looked really good doing all of her stuff. But like, I don't give a fuck. I know she's gonna lose. And in the match, Mickie did the most. And you know how the match ended? Freaking Alexa got up, punched her in the face, and did a DDT, and it was over.
I'm fine with that. I like it when a DDT actually finishes an opponent. But real quick, shout out to Sasha Banks for saying it on Twitter. It's funny how you didn't come out to help me later on.
Oh.
They are so teasing that heel turn.
I didn't notice that. And Cass is pointing out to the fact that after Alexa Bliss finished off Mickie James, what's her name? Alexa Bliss got a kendo stick, whacked Mickie James, and then Bayley showed up to, I'm going to hit you with the stick.
Bayley, why aren't you going out there and trying to whack the hell out of Alexa Bliss at the last? That's what I didn't understand.
100%. She just definitely she had the stick, and Alexa Bliss is just like, oh no, don't hit me, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna do it.
Get me away
next
from this
time
crap,
on
Micah,
Dragon
please.
Ball Z.
Get me away from this crap, quit, Micah.
So that was it, and now we're in the main event of Bray Wyatt and Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns.
Why were the crowd chanting this, like trying to get a "This is awesome" chant started? Because the match, honest, the tag team match did not warrant a "This is awesome" chant. The match was fine. It served its purpose, like
Exactly.
and it set it up matches for next week. So it did not warrant a "This is awesome" chant.
I think because of, and there's two things being at a live show. It's being there in the atmosphere,
Yeah.
and then just clamoring at something to latch onto, maybe that you might enjoy. This was the last vestige of that, so they had to with this one. It, as you said, it was fine. It was good. It was alright. I thought Seth Rollins looked actually really good.
It was okay. I mean, it was a typical tag team main
Yeah,
event. I mean, nothing
it
too
was
special.
very standard. No one looked. No, as I said, Seth Rollins looked very good.
Yeah.
Once he got tagged in, he was, as I say a lot with Seth Rollins lately. He was like a house on fire. He ran around and did all of his stuff like he always does. He looks like he's in 100% now because he's not wearing the leg brace anymore. And Joe looked good. Joe looked good. Bray and Roman were there.
Yeah, that's it.
And in the end, hell, who fuck? Oh yeah, Samoa Joe won because he got the coquina clutch on Seth, and that was it. Oh, but they did a very good thing that I'm really freaking happy that they did. And every show should end like this. They set up matches for next week. They
to get
set
you
up.
to tune in.
Yes, that's what a show should do.
But this show didn't want to give it a tune in next week.
It's our job, man. We get paid, right? Right?
I wish.
Splinter, do we get paid? No? Damn.
Shit, I wish.
But it told us that next week it'll be Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt versus Samoa Joe. And then there will also be Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, which I think is the go-home show for... Oh, wow. Man, these pay-per-views are getting way too close.
Yeah.
But that ended out Raw. Overall, Cass, I don't want to go with letter grades anymore because technically we're right, because there's no letter grade for these anymore. There are a lot of average or below lately.
This show just didn't accomplish much other than the ending, which set up matches for next week. But other than that, like, you could tell they were just treading water tonight.
What I will go for is, should you watch it or should you listen to our review? I'd say listen to our review.
Yeah, it's much easier.
Yes, listen to our review rather than watch this Raw in particular. If you wanna, there's really nothing that stood out tonight. Nothing really. There's no match of the night. There's no superstar of the night. There's no segment of the night. It was, as Cass said, a filler. Nothing really happened. But okay, there we go. Sorry, it seemed like you froze for a second, but now we're back on track. That wraps it up for Cass and I. Any parting word? Oh, sorry, Cass, go ahead. What did you got?
Oh, just be on the lookout, people, for on PWFEmpire.com. I'm gonna start bringing you being the new NXT correspondent. I'm actually gonna be doing weekly reviews on NXT every single week. I know you don't watch a lot of you don't watch the weekly shows, and honestly, you don't really need to. I just choose to watch it because I love NXT and I enjoy the product they put out. So it's just a little way to help you keep you tuned in.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that.
If you're a casual fan that has not watched NXT while you're listening to us, but you watched maybe you watched the pay-per-views or the specials, and you want to get some sort of a degree of who these people are or who the next people are on the rise, just come on over to PWF Empire and listen to Cass. He wraps up the NXT segments in about 20 minutes or so, gives out a very good opinion, gives out a very good, concise way of going, and see where we go.
Don't worry, we're not covering main event.
No. Well, that's for an Andrew show.
Yeah.
But you can go on to pwfempire.com and listen to Cass's review of NXT TakeOver, as well as his prediction. Sorry, I got it mixed up. You can listen to his predictions, then listen to his review. That's what I personally like to do. If you've already missed the segments, and then definitely go watch the NXT show. Don't watch Backlash. And You can find me, Micah, on Twitter at Micah Kool-Aid. You can find DJ Cass at
Casting good one.
uh, clickety clack that like button, smash down that subscribe button, ring a ding ding that bell so you can get notified. And this is Micah and Cass with the Raw Review signing out.
Later days.
Catchphrase.